come on, man. I'm not going to lie. It's a rough Tuesday morning. I don't think any of us are feeling that great today after kind of suffering through that Warrior loss last night. And I did suffer. Believe me, I suffered plenty. I know we all did, man. None of us are feeling, hey, look at Rags being a VIP. Welcome aboard, Rags. Here's your red carpet. Welcome to the VIP area. And by the way, we're not just asking you guys to give us extra money for nothing. We are going to start providing bonus content, but we're just not set up for that yet. We're getting there. Slowly but surely, this what's that, Tone?
I was thinking money for nothing and your chicks for free.
Well, we're offering no such thing here on the PMP show. There's no free chicks. There's no free money. There's no nothing. But by the way, when you become a VIP, just know that you are helping us get this show down the road. That's all we're trying to do here is give you guys the best product we can. And in the meantime, I want to say some well wishes to our good friend Leah Phillips. Leah, feel better. Do you have the same flu bug that Jimmy Butler apparently has? Right. We're going to get into it. We're going to get into it. Everybody stand by. Everybody hold your horses. Tony, when was the last time somebody dropped a hold your horses on you? Because I just dropped one right on your head. Hold your horses.
That's good. That's good. I love it. You don't hear it that often. If we can bring it back, I'm fine with that. Bring it back. Hold your horses.
Hold your horses. Listen, I'm going to try to ask Minnesota to hold their horses, but I don't know if their horses can be held. Their horses are galloping all over the damn court. They're stuffing. They're dunking. I got Julius Randle. You know, he thinks he's James Worthy all of a sudden, dude, throwing up everything. Everything goes in.
I want to know the etymology of hold your horses, by the way, Paulie. So I want to know where that thing came from. I'm going to do deep dive.
Tracy, I'm going to give you like a little. Let me see if I can play this game with you real quick. I'm going to say it originates from the Old West. Okay, maybe out in the Rockland area, back in like the. What's that?
Just looked it up. It says it can be traced back to the literal act of holding a horse's reins.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, outside of the saloon, dude. Hold on to your horse.
Well, hold on, to slow or stop a carriage or other horse-drawn vehicle. So there you go.
You know what, Tony? Let's bring back the carriage. You know what I mean? Yeah. I want to ride around in a carriage. Let somebody drive the horse. I want to sit in a carriage and be driven around. It just sounds fancy, dude.
Let's put Julius Randle and Anthony Edwards in a carriage and just have them go off into the sunset. How about that?
I'd rather beat them. I'd rather just beat them on the court, but I'm not sure if the Warriors can do that at this point. I know. We're going to dive way into it, but first, a couple of words from our sponsors. Without them, this show would not be possible, would not be happening at all. So let me start with our newest sponsor. He is Dr. Matt Young, dental extraordinaire right here in San Francisco. He's doing work for over 25 years. He's been in business right down on Post Street. It's right next to Union Square. It's a beautiful area. You know, it's a nice way to go see Dr. Young and then enjoy an afternoon in the Union Square Park. When was the last time you hung out in Union Square? It's one of the most beautiful little corners of the whole city. It really is.
Every December, dude, we go ice skating, we go to grab dinner, we go grab drinks. It's a tradition every winter, Union Square, and then pictures in front of that humongous tree. Although I think Macy's is closing.
Ronnie Lott's been known to light that tree up, man. Ronnie Lott's been known to show up and light the tree. Come on, light the tree. Creator Tony, quick question. How do you do on skates? You specifically?
You know, not great, but not bad. Like why I'll always have an appreciation for hockey. And by the way, if I can do this. That's our first deviation during our sponsorship.
I know. We got to tighten these up. We've been told. I know. We've been told. So anyway, quickly on your skating prowess. Quickly.
My deep respect for ice hockey stems from my lack of ice skating skill.
Okay, fair enough, Tony. As I was saying about Dr. Young, 25 years in the business, a really great San Francisco guy. I've been going to him for over a decade. We have one of my friends, one of our mutual friends, Natalie, turned me on to Dr. Young. This is a long time ago, and I've been a loyal customer ever since, and I know you guys will be too. If you're looking for a new dentist, don't look any further. Trust me, this is your guy. He's one of us. He can easily hang with us, and I hope we'll be having a opportunity to have him in a group. You know, one of our group hangs. We're working on something for this weekend, as a matter of fact. We'll tell you about that in a second. But in the meantime, Dr. Young can take care of all of your dental needs, your checkups, your fillings. He specializes in implant surgeries and implant restorations. In fact, Dr. Matt Young is the president of the American Academy of Implant Dentistry. Again, he accepts most major insurance coverages, so you shouldn't have any problem there. You're going to have a very positive, very stress-free experience in the dental office. And if you're like me, that means a lot. It really does. I used to be incredibly stressed out going into the dentist. That is not the case with Dr. Matt Young. He's going to put you at ease. You can talk ball with him. He loves the Giants. He's got a kid going to St. Ignatius next year, just like Creative Tony did, playing baseball over there. So he's a great dude. Give him a shout. Tell him what your situation is. Even if you haven't gone to the dentist in a while, start playing catch up, and you'll be in good hands with Dr. Young. 415-392-8611. Give him a shout. You can also shoot him an email, Tony, at info@youngdentalsf.com.
Yes, you can, Paulie. And also, if you don't believe us, go to Google and look at the thousands of positive reviews that are written about the Young Dental Group and Dr. Young himself. So if you don't believe us, which hopefully you do, but if you don't, if you want further positive vibes on Dr. Young, go check out all of the positive reviews on Dr. Young, and also check them out on Saturdays, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m.
And by the way, just so you know, here's how cool Dr. Young is. And you said if you don't believe us, believe the positive Google reviews. Shout out Ozzy Osbourne, Believer. That's one of my favorite tracks on Direct. No Believer riffs, no Ozzy riffs in the middle. Okay,
no, that's a deviation from the sponsorship.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Well, I was trying to riff on something you said during the spot. I don't know if that would count or not. I've been disqualified. All right. Hey, listen, thank you, Dr. Young. We freaking love you, dude, and we'll see you soon. Hey, on to our next sponsor. It's our good friend, Carlos de la Fuente. We had big news from Carlos yesterday. He is out here actively helping out our PMP community members. And that's no joke. Like, he's really doing this. He closed another deal yesterday with one of our viewers / listeners / audience members, however you guys categorize yourselves. He is Los D on the streets. Real name, business name, Carlos de la Fuente. Give him a shout, 925-250-4894. He is licensed to handle loans, mortgage loans, fix and flips, whatever your interest might be or your needs might be. He's licensed in the state of California. So even if you're down in San Diego and you're like, wow, it's too far away from the Bay Area. Nope. He can help you. He can definitely help you. You could be Humboldt Fats. You could be hanging out in the woods up in Humboldt County. He can help you up there as well. And by the way, shout out Humboldt Fats on a Roby Tuesday. We're robed up, and I hope you guys are too, for maximum comfort and maximum recovery. Even Los D, dude. Los D was on a text thread with me last night. No. During the game, dude. Los D and I talked a lot during the game last night. Yes. Believe me, he's just as disgruntled and upset as all of us are today. He was right there suffering through it. Me, Creative Tony, Dom, and Los D had a 4-way text thing going last night. We didn't talk business, but you can. So give him a shout or shoot him an email, carlos@myflexnow.com, whatever your financial needs or concerns or questions might be. Talk to Carlos. Let him get you in a better financial reality today, Tony.
Give us the loose. 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 What loan would you like?
So, okay.
I was right on the brink of throwing air horns, dude. That's we're not gonna. You know what? No, stand by. No, now you're going to the. No, it's a foul on Tony. Yeah, Creative Tony with a party foul right there, bro. If I'm getting in position to blow air horns, you can't yank the rug out like that. That was brutal.
Hey, Paulie.
Guess what?
I got to finish this spot with Los because I want to tell them the story about my friend Mel and Los. My friend Mel started a conversation with Los, and it turns out that the timing isn't right for Mel right now. But you know what? Guess what? Now Mel and Los.
Guess what?
Now Mel and Los have created a friendship. They're staying in touch. And it's
that's right.
That's the coolest stuff ever, dude. It goes beyond the transaction with Los. He's trying to build a relationship. He's interested in getting to know you as a person, getting to know your world. And that's what I love. Totally. And my friend Mel has been repeatedly telling me, man, this dude Los is a cool cat, man. He's really just a nice guy. And I thank you guys for introducing me to him. So I'm just saying that we're not just BSing here. It's just the proof is in the pudding that he's building partnerships with these people, but he's also building friendships. And I just wanted to say that about Los, and we trust Los. And thank you very much, Los.
And you will too. And thank you, Carlos. We love you, buddy. Hey, I got to say too about Carlos as we get into the show today that I can't wait until football season starts because I see Los posting a lot of Niner stuff now in the month of freaking May. He's got takes. He's got a lot of takes, a lot of feelings, a lot of opinions. And, I know he's a passionate Warrior fan too and Giants, but I think the Niners are his primary thing. So I'm looking forward to football season Los D. You know what I mean? Because we haven't gotten to experience that yet. I got a feeling it's going to be a treat. Anyway, give Carlos a shout. Tell him what your situation is and let him go to work for you. You'll be in a much better place, Tony.
Paulie, give Carlos a shout, 925-250-4894, or email Carlos at myflexnow.com. And on the NFL note, before we get into dubs, I want to also just say tomorrow, the schedule gets fully released. The full NFL schedule gets released. So we'll be excited to see what's happening with the Niners as far as the schedule. That gets released tomorrow, so we can talk about that tomorrow night after our Game 5 show. Which
that's the thing. So we should let's go through that again one more time. If you missed yesterday's show, we're going to try something a little bit different tomorrow night because it would be our normal night flight. Wednesday, 8:00 has been like our usual timestamp there, but we're going to try something different tomorrow because our show would be on opposite the game itself. And we know, I mean, listen, I want to watch the game too. So we're not going to F around tomorrow night. We're going to just watch the Warrior game. And as soon as the game ends, we're going to go live, Tony and I. So listen, my fingers are crossed, man. I don't know, Tony. I mean, how do you want to start the show? Do you want to talk about Verlander losing on 2 solo bombs and that's the Giants' 4th straight? Or do we start with the Warrior misery?
I think the Giants need to send the Warriors like a thank you card in the mail saying thank you for taking the attention off of us in our 4-game skid. Although the skid stinks, dude, because the Warriors, the pitching, they gave up 2 runs, 3 runs, and 7 runs.
Been there. No, the pitching is there. The pitching has been solid. Verlander was great last night.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. A 2-1 ball game. They lost a tight games Friday, Saturday, and then they lost a tough extra inning ball game in that stupid second base runner on Sunday, and then a 2-1 ball game last night. But Paulie, I think we need to direct our attention. But before we direct our attention, I want to also remind people that in the corner next to the subscribe bell, you will now see the opportunity to become a PMP VIP member.
That's right, buddy.
You click on that, then you become a VIP member, and we will give you extra content. Paulie and I are in the process of creating that whole setup where we can do extra shows, where we can do live chats, where we can do jam sessions. The world is our oyster. It's an empty canvas over there in PMP VIP land. So if you want to click on that and join us over there, we would love to have you. Thank you for those that have already done it. We really appreciate the support. And we look forward to making lots of other extra content as well.
We do. Yeah. And we'll be giving you guys tons of that stuff. All you can eat buffet style, man. We'll give you so much extra content. You won't know what to do with it. Hey, in the meantime, Tony, let's talk dubs. I mean, listen, I have a lot to say. Oh, and by the way, where are my manners, dude? Mark Cannizzaro, acclaimed New York Post journalist, going to join us at 11:30 today. He's down in Charlotte for the Quail Hollow PGA Championship. So he'll have some golf stuff for us, and we'll talk some Knicks Celtics because they are having a good time in New York. By the way, Tony, I put in a bookmark of 7th Avenue outside of Madison Square Garden. Shout out Mick Jagger. I can't give it away on 7th Avenue. Shattered. Tony, this town's in tatters. My brains are splattered all over Manhattan. I'll Shattered all day. I'll do Shattered 10 times out of 10. I love Shattered. But anyway, 7th Avenue outside. You a Shattered guy? Yeah.
I love Shattered. Also, I put in bookmarks also a video of your boy Chamalay being deep into the Knicks vibe as well.
Apparently, dude, the word on the street is Chamalay is legit. Believe it, because he did grow up in New York City. Like, he's a Manhattan kid. He'd spend his whole life there. So, from what I understand, he's not a poser. He actually did grow up as a Knicks fan. Hey, Tech 1982, welcome aboard, and thank you for supporting the show, brother. Free content coming your way. Free buffet coming your way. That's for you, Rex. Free buffet coming your way. Anyway, Tony, 7th Avenue outside of Madison Square Garden turned into a block party last night. So I want to show Mark Cannizzaro what was going on in his hometown, because Marky Mark lives in New York City, but he's in Charlotte for the golf thing. So he's going to, I just want to show him that when we get him on, we'll show him the bookmark. Okay. Now, for starters, actually, let me start with that, because we're talking about the atmosphere outside the Garden. Dude, I want to tell you this, Tony. It's been bugging me for a while, and I'm going to come out with this. I've been holding this in for a while. I am very disappointed with the atmosphere in Chase Center. I gotta say, dude, I think last night
you don't like empty seats to start the third quarter. You don't like empty seats in a playoff game with like 6 minutes to go in the game.
Dude, I know I do. And again, it was like a really tough contrast, because I watched that Knicks game. It was these Knicks games are really entertaining. Even if you don't like Boston, you don't like New York, you're getting some great basketball right now. Watching Jalen Brunson and all these guys, Josh Hart, these guys are just fun to watch. But the Garden was so electric yesterday, and then that game ended in very exciting fashion. And then boom, they go to Chase, and I was like, God, it sounds like a freaking library in there, dude. Where are our fans? And I mean, I saw some comments online last night. I think it was Los D, actually, dude. Los D even mentioned it. Los D was like, bro, this ain't Roracle, man. What happened to Roracle Arena? Like, the Warriors used to have a decided home court advantage. Now, I'm realistic. I'm not saying the Warriors lost the game because of the atmosphere, but Tony, I don't know. I'm just getting this out there. I'm very unhappy with the state of the fan base inside Chase. Am I being too tough, or do you feel this too?
No, but we could do Michael Jackson. Tell him that it's human nature, because dude,
give me another one of those.
Why don't you do me that way?
Dude, I needed that. La da 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 da. Why? Dude, all right, good. T, I needed that laugh. Thank you, brother. That's why I like to hang with Creative Tony. He'll say something fucked up and make me laugh on a day when I don't really want to laugh, but that was good for my head. La da 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 da. Why? It's just hitting me right, bro. Sorry. Go ahead. Can we have that? Just that lick as a soundbite? La da 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 da. Yeah, load that shit up today, T. Come on. Anytime we want to transition to a new topic, let's talk Giants. Yeah.
Why? It's actually a beautiful song. But my point is, human nature has gotten to the point where people just take it for granted. They take what's happening on the court, and they take the playoffs and take it for granted. And it's unfortunate because I was sitting there watching the game with my wife and kids, and we're like, look at those empty seats with 6 minutes left.
I know. What are you talking about? In the fourth quarter? Because there was like an exodus in the fourth quarter. The building started to empty out.
Right. I'm like, that could be the last game at Chase this season, a-hole. Like, oh God, I shouldn't say that.
No, listen, I'm feeling the same way, dude. That's why I brought it up.
It just really bums me out because I said to my kids, I said, by the way, just so you know, for point of reference, if we had those seats, and those are damn good seats, by the way, very expensive seats. I said, if we're in those seats, we're staying until the final buzzer. Okay. We're not leaving, regardless of the score. So, we were trying to, it was a teaching moment. It was a parenting moment I had right there. But Paulie, I'm very upset about it because it's not cool. It's not, it adds to the home court advantage. And I got a lot of beefs about last night, man.
Go ahead. That's why we're here. Let it out, man. Start them off. Yeah.
First of all, I have to tip my cap to Randall, to Anthony Edwards and the Timberwolves. I got to tip my cap. They're playing good ball. But
Reed, all those guys. Yeah.
When I see on TV, they're doing these graphics of Ant-Man took down LeBron, Ant-Man took down KD, Ant-Man took down Jokic, Ant-Man takes on Steph Curry. Hey, dude, Ant-Man did not take on Steph Curry except for one freaking game in this series.
I agree.
The Dubs won that game. So do we really even need to? I mean, it makes me so sad that Steph's not on the floor.
I know. It sucks.
It has to be eating him alive inside.
Because that's kind of like yesterday when Tatum went down in that Knick game. And that's unfortunate too, because Tatum was going off, dude. He had 42 points. He was hitting everything he threw up. And then he went down. It's feared it might be in an Achilles rupture. They're MRI in that today. But I felt like, well, I'm not going to give you guys a lot of sympathy. I'm in the same situation out here without Steph Curry. It's like, and the Warriors have been through this before when KD went down with the ruptured Achilles in the freaking finals. You know what I mean? So I understand Boston's plight, but at the same time, I mean, we're in the same exact situation. And that's my one, and I've said this before, it's just me being a cranky old timer, but my only beef with Anthony Edwards is it's too much mouth, dude. He runs his mouth too much because he hasn't really done anything yet. He's a great player. Tons of talent.
Yes.
All-star, perennial all-star. He'll continue to be. He did win a gold medal in France, and he loved being around LeBron and Steph and all those guys. But my point is he's never won an MVP. He's never won a championship. And I feel like if you want to be on the court throwing like threes at people and all this kind of nonsense, or running your mouth to Kevin Durant last year, who is an MVP, who is a two-time champion, I just feel like it's a little premature. And I think that what you're talking about, Tony, is kind of like my point too, which is it's like the NBA is so desperate to
Dave Pash on the freaking mic cannot stop talking about Minnesota Timberwolves basketball.
It's tough. Both of them. No, the announcers last night were driving me freaking crazy. Like they were almost like pleasuring themselves to the T-Wolves. I'm like, guys, this is getting a little like excessive here. Calm down. Yeah.
The Dubs are missing the greatest shooter in the history of the game. Can you maybe recognize that every now and again in your broadcast? Yes, the Timberwolves played well. Yes, they're going to probably advance. Dude, but I got to do it. Remember, the term the flip side? Hey, I'll see you on the flip side, right? So on the flip side, Paulie, I have to say, you saw Anthony Edwards after the game. He did credit Steph Curry with his shooting prowess. Like he said, hey, I was in Steph Curry's back pocket in France in the Olympics, and I learned so much from Steph. So he had to give Steph credit because they were talking about that 3-pointer, which was a huge 3-pointer he made at the halftime buzzer. So I did like that he gave credit, and I also my kids. I gauged a lot of the things now. My kids is they both said he does seem like he'd be fun to play with, Dad. Like if you had him on your own team, like if you
he's enjoying. No, he plays with a lot of joy and a lot of passion. Right. I just think there's maybe a little too much chirping going on, and there's a little too much kind of premature ushering him into this kind of mantle of greatness. Where like, let him go do it, man. If this kid, hey, listen, if the Timberwolves can get through the West, beat OKC, and represent in the finals, okay, let's start talking about how great he is. But he hasn't done those things yet, so I just want everybody to kind of cool your heels on Ant Edwards. Great player, but hasn't done anything yet. Now with the Warriors, with the Golden. Well, I tell you, I just want to run through the numbers real quick. So Jimmy Butler, 14 points, Draymond, 14 points, Buddy Hield, 13, Podziemski, 11, Kuminga leads the way with 23. Got to start with the big name right there, Jimmy Butler. What was the problem last night? Was he sick? Apparently, Draymond said he's been under the weather, and he couldn't go full tilt. Steve Kerr commented on that as well after the game and said, I expect a fully loaded, fully ready to go Jimmy Butler game 5 tomorrow night in Minnesota. But is it going to be too little too late? I mean, I got to be honest, Tony, without Steph Curry, like you just talked about, I kind of expected and needed another balls out performance from Jimmy Butler, and he was very meek. Dude, he only took 9 shots last night. 9.
I really think Draymond made reference to it that I think he really is sick. I think he is playing ill. So that does stink. There's something obviously going through the Dubs. I don't know, with Podziemski and then GP2 and now Butler. I also got to say, hey, Podziemski, he had 11 points, sure, but dude, 3 of 14 and 0 from the floor, including 0 of 4 from 3-point land. He has looked off, man. He's been ice cold, and that's a guy that we need when Steph's not there. So having no pods is really, really tough, and I think he can do it. But it just goes to show you that a lot of it is mental too, man. You short arm shots or something. I don't know, but I liked Looney's minutes, and I liked Kuminga's third 20 plus point game of the postseason. I mean, he's definitely, I don't know if him and his agent are having like little chuckles behind the scenes of being like, oh, what are they going to do now? Like it's going to be it's going to cause for a very interesting offseason with the whole Kuminga discussion, the way he's played in this postseason when given the opportunity. Right?
Well, I'd love to see if Kuminga could actually lead us to a victory, though. He is putting up points, and if he wants to be the man, dude, go ahead, put this team on your back. Somebody needs to do that right now. But I feel like I don't want to pick on Podziemski too much with the 11 points. That was an improvement. But Steve Kerr just continues to give him a lot of minutes in this series. Like Podziemski's on the floor a lot. I feel the same way that you just spoke about Podziemski. I feel the same way about Buddy Hield. Yo, Buddy Hield, bro, come on. Dude, 13, he's been way too quiet in this series. Way too quiet. And again, without Steph Curry, everyone takes on additional responsibility. We know this, but I don't feel like Buddy Hield, I mean, he's not. But 13 points from Buddy Hield in a must-win game at home is just not enough. It's not.
Yeah, no, I agree. But did you say Buddy Hield? Can I add something? Can I throw something onto the monitor for everybody? I'm going to share something with everybody. You mean this Buddy Hield? Buddy Hield, who was just mauled yesterday. Jersey grab. Dude, I have a question for you, Paulie. What's the jersey grab? And you have your hand around it. I mean, dude, that almost rolled his ankle, by the way. He almost rolled his ankle on that play. I have a question for you, Paulie.
I saw that too. I was watching his ankle too. I was actually a little worried about that. His left ankle kind of buckles a little bit. I mean, the fact that this wasn't a flagrant foul.
Exactly. Dude, how is that not a flagrant foul? And by the way, let's just pretend if that is Draymond doing that to McDaniels, that might even be an ejection, dude.
Yeah.
Or it is unreal how it's not just arbitrary, how it's not just what is on the floor in front of you. And the fact that Steve Javi, the ref in the booth last night, was saying, "Oh, I think this is a normal foul," and thank God.
I couldn't believe that. I can't, because I don't see anything here. I don't see anything. It's like, dude, you don't see anything. He's pulling him down to the floor from behind by his jersey. You can't throw guys. You can't grab guys' jerseys and throw them to the ground. He doesn't see anything here.
Dude, look at this. Look at this. Look at this. I mean, look at this. And so, and dude, and Javi says, while it starts, there is unnecessary contact. Dude, that is the letter of the law of a flagrant foul. Unnecessary contact, not going for the ball. There was no attempt on the ball on this. There was unnecessary contact, and they call it a common foul, dude. I'm just blown away, man. Because if that's Draymond, who knows what that happens, dude? It might even been an ejection, dude. It pisses me off, man.
Mama J, I see a name up here. Mama J, welcome aboard. It's great to see you, Mama J. I agree with you 1,000,000%. She's saying he didn't just grab his jersey. Dude, he kind of karate chopped him across the neck and shoulder first. Like, if you run that back, here it comes. Here it comes. There's like a karate chop, dude, like right on Buddy Hield's neck.
As Jamie McDaniels comes first
right here.
Hard on that shoulder around the neck area, and then grabs onto the jersey.
I mean,
I think after Tim Legler saying, after Javi's BS, saying, "Oh, I think I would just call this a common foul," dude. Thank God for Tim Legler saying, "I see a lot more than that. It's definitely unnecessary contact. There's no attempt at the ball. That is as like easy of a call of a flagrant foul as I've ever seen." I don't even know what to make of this. I don't. Again, I'm as frustrated by this as everybody else. I mean, this is just an example of just a horribly officiated moment in the game. And I feel like, listen, the Warriors played a great first half last night. That game was back and forth. It was nip and tuck. It was very tight. Yes, I just feel like in the third quarter, the T-Wolves put together a run. They made a few shots. And Edwards started getting hot. He heated up. And all of a sudden, it was almost like the Warriors just let go of the wheel. I felt like they weren't really competing once Minnesota went on that run. There was about 7 minutes left in the third quarter. It was still a very tight game. And then all of a sudden, like, I just feel like the Warriors resigned themselves to the loss. It was like, okay, we're not going to win this game. Did you feel that too? I'm not saying they threw it, but I'm saying that it felt like they stopped competing at that level midway through the third. They showed some shots their defense of not getting back on defense and giving clear paths to the bucket for multiple T-Wolves. But you mentioned the third quarter. Can we just? I want to add this to the call.
Just a shooting foul. 2 free throws rather than an and one. As the offensive foul is called here on the screen on the Warriors. It's on Buddy Hield.
Watch Randall here. Watch everybody. Flopmore. Yeah, dude, that's just despicable. Like I've lost respect for Randall right there because it's just a ridiculous abuse of I don't know, trying to get the call. He got the call, and that's when the avalanche started. Was right after this play, and then they called a rap foul on Butler, which like
under the basket. Yeah.
If you're gonna call that, there's so much ticky-tack crap they could have called all night on Conley, on McDaniels. And by the way, back to Shaq's point about McDaniels, because he was pissed off about how Buddy Hield was swatting him away. I'm like, hey, dude, Shaq said, and I'll believe what Shaq says. If you're gonna guard somebody that closely, you better expect contact. Like you better expect it if that's how close you're gonna play defense. And McDaniels and all these guys are trying to play constant contact on the ball. And I'm not saying that's why the Dubs lost. The Dubs got outplayed. Randall and Ant-Man, they came to play, no doubt. But this avalanche started after this flop call, and then the rap call on Butler, and then Conley hits a 3, and next thing you know, I mean, dude, you also got to give him credit too. They hit 16 threes. So it's like
they were hitting everything, dude. They were shooting the lights out last night. They were collectively as a team, they were smoking hot, shooting from the field. And the Warriors were not. The Warriors were ice cold again, with Kuminga leading the way with 23 points. And the next nearest guy is Butler and Draymond with 14 each. I mean, Draymond, hats off to Draymond Green. He did everything I asked him. I could have asked for last night. We wanted more offense from him. He gave it to us. He was very offensive minded from the beginning. He's going to have to be again tomorrow. Where's your spirit? Where is your head, Tony? Where is your, if you have any confidence, like, can the Warriors still win game 5 and then come back and force a game 6? I'm just,
Yes, that's what's crazy, man. Is like if I'm the Timberwolves,
I think so too. Actually, yeah.
You had that. It was 60 to 58 at half.
Yep.
Warriors up 2. Then that third quarter happens. But again, if the Dubs can do, I loved when the Dubs switched to the zone D. That really seemed to kind of mix things up for Minnesota, and they were kind of frazzled when the zone D happened with the Dubs. But I think the Timberwolves are a good team. I don't think they're a great team. And what bums me out about the whole Steph Curry injury is the way the playoffs are kind of taking shape. That if with a healthy Curry and the Dubs getting past Minnesota, then who knows what could happen with these other teams losing, like with Cleveland losing, with Boston losing, like with Denver and OKC probably going to go 7 games. Like, man, the door is open.
Yeah.
That's why if they can just win, if they can win and get it back to Chase, and knock on wood, if Steph can play in Game 6,
that would be huge.
And then could you imagine if they got it back to a Game 7 in Minnesota? Then all the pressure is on Minnesota, dude.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, if they could push it that far, if they could move this thing or extend this thing to, by winning 2 more games, suddenly all bets are off. In Game 7, all bets are off. And with the Warriors and their experience and their pedigree, I would actually like their chances. But, dude, we had a long way to go before we start talking about a Game 7. And I know it's almost time for us to be joined by our very special guest, Mark Cannizzaro. If he's in the dress or the green room.
Not yet, Paul.
He's not. Okay, fine. No problem.
As soon as he's there, I'll let you know. But it's good for us to blow off steam about this Dubs loss. But I still think just win one. Don't even think about Game 6. Don't even think about anything except for just winning Game 5. And it's possible because I do think, dude, can the Timberwolves keep shooting the lights out like they have been behind the arc? I don't know. I mean, dude,
I don't think so. I don't think that could continue. That they were so hot last night. It was just one of those nights. Everything was going in. And no, to answer your question, I don't expect that would continue. No.
I think it's 31 threes in the last 2 games for them. So I mean, that's ridiculous. They were over 50% for most of the night behind the arc. I mean, you have to tip your cap, but can that continue? And by the way, while they're red hot, scalding behind the arc, the Dubs are ice cold behind the arc, like we've never seen. Like maybe there's another Buddy Hield game coming up that we could. You can't hope for that.
I hope so. We need one. I mean, the Warriors really need a Buddy Hield game. They need a night where he pops like that. Right. And listen. The fact that the Warriors can't score all of a sudden is crazy. Like, that's has been the problem in the last 2 games. And I also hate the fact that they've lost both games on their own floor. That's really distressing. And that kind of goes back to me talking about the atmosphere. Like, I don't think there was anything about the atmosphere inside Chase Center that made it uncomfortable for Minnesota, like in any way. They were totally relaxed and at ease, whereas I think in the old days, like the crowd would be so electric.
All kinds of smack too. A lot of smack talking to the crowd too, like Randall and Anthony Edwards and McDaniels and even Conley doing some peaks. It's like, come man, dude.
Yeah, I think it was Low Steve once again with a great line last night when he was texting us during the game. Low Steve's like, dude, I don't know about this LL Bean crowd sitting courtside at Chase Center. I was like, dude, great description. It is. It's like an LL Bean catalog come to life, dude. There's nothing intimidating about the people sitting courtside. And again, just make some noise, dude. Get me some atmosphere. It's a playoff game, and it felt like a regular season game last night. Kind of distressing, T.
Yeah, Paulie. Mark Cannizzaro is in the green room.
I got you.
And waiting. And
all right.
Allow him to join us. Let's go, Marky Mark. Yes. There he is.
That's what I'm talking about. Marky Mark, how you doing, my bro? Mark Cannizzaro, New York Post, everybody, live from Quail Hollow, PGA Tour Championship. Marky's always out there covering it. How we doing today, Mark?
I'm doing great, guys. How you doing? Good to see you guys.
We're doing good. Thanks, brother. Thank you, man. We were just kind of combing through the, the misery of that Warrior loss last night, and things are looking pretty bleak, dude. I know you got your hands full on the tour right now, but did you get to see the Warrior game last night? It was not pretty if you're a Warrior fan.
I was watching it early, and I root for the Warriors because I'm rooting for you guys. You and Murphy Murph, and obviously Tony out there. So that's more my rooting interest. Plus, I love Steph, even though he's not playing. Right now, but it looked like they were playing pretty well, and quite honestly, it was pretty late. I kind of turned in, woke up middle of the night because I'm an insomniac, and I saw the highlights, and what was it, 17-0 run or something like that.
Yeah, that was That buried him. Now, by the way, dude, it's funny. Well, it's kind of ironic that you're out of town right now because you are such a quintessential New York City guy. Like, Tony, when you're in New York City, just call Mark Cannizzaro and say, Mark, I'm in your hands. Do whatever you need to do. Because this guy knows all the best eateries, all the best bars. He is New York. He embodies New York City. So it's kind of ironic that you're in North Carolina because, dude, the Knicks fans took over 7th Avenue last night. I don't know if you saw the footage. It's mayhem out there, brother. Mayhem.
I did. I would say, Tony, if you want to give me a call, make sure it's on one of those robe Tuesdays. Yeah, that's probably you can try to. Is it Tuesdays to do the robes?
It's a Roby Tuesday.
Yes. It is. Oh, there you go. Okay.
Yeah.
I watched. I was actually at a sushi bar, right like I am right now. I'm in the Pressman Center, but I was literally watching the game on my phone, and I like. The more that game got intense, the more glasses of wine I drank, and I ended up drinking a lot of glasses of wine.
Yeah.
By the time that was over, I ate too much Toro and had too many glasses of Chardonnay last night watching that game. It was unbelievable. I feel terrible obviously about Tatum going down. I mean, that was sickening to see. The Knicks were going to win that game anyway because they had already taken it over. But it certainly puts I mean, it's so weird how things all of a sudden, listen, we're still early days, and the Celtics are the defending champions, and they're a very deep team. This series is not over by any stretch, but should the Knicks get by in this series, now you got Cleveland, who was another team like Boston, the Knicks couldn't beat all year.
Yep.
About to go down against Indiana. So I mean, this is setting up with a legit chance for them to get to the NBA final, and you could just see from the reaction in New York last night, 7th Avenue. They had a fan fest kind of thing on the side down 33rd Street.
Right.
And it's obviously spilled over to 7th Avenue because it was just mayhem.
Yeah.
And you could just see what the Knicks mean something different to New York sports than the other teams. It's hard to describe. I'm a huge Ranger fan, as you guys know. Paulie and I talk about it a lot. Listen, the Rangers, the Yankees certainly own the town, but there's something about the Knicks. And the other thing is they haven't done it since '73.
Yep.
So it's like, I mean, the time is, the release of these fans is very much like I would remember when the Ranger fans released, when they probably won the Cup in '94, and I was in the building at the Garden for that. I've never seen such a release of emotion at a sporting event. So we're kind of heading toward that right now if the Knicks can keep this thing going.
So, Mark, that kind of brings up an interesting question I want to ask about the Knicks. And I agree with you. There is something about the Knicks fan base. It's very emblematic of New York City because it's a very diverse crowd. You will see all colors, all creeds, all ethnicities at Knicks games. And you don't get quite as much of that at some of the other teams in New York City. But you do get that with the Knicks. Now, when you talk about the release of the Knicks fans and they're finally enjoying their moment, where would you put Knicks Boston? Because New York, Boston, famously, obviously, Yankees, Red Sox, even Rangers, Bruins. That's a hell of a rivalry. Yeah. But how does Knicks Celtics rank among the New York Boston rivalries? Because it's a matchup like the country doesn't talk about a lot. They really haven't had reason to for decades.
Well, you just kind of said it there, Paulie. We've getting our asses kicked by Boston for years, right? So, I always put Yankees, Red Sox at the top. I mean, there's an absolute hatred there amongst the fans. It's like your Dodgers, it's like your Giants and Dodgers there, It's although fortunately a little bit less violent than some of the knucklehead stuff that takes place at Dodger Stadium with some of the Giant fans. But I put that at the top without question. But you kind of said a little bit there. I mean, the Knicks really haven't been competitive. They haven't been winning even early round playoff series in the last couple of decades. So this has been spicy. I happen to find that Boston coach a very easy guy to not like. He just seems very arrogant.
I agree.
The game kind of.
I agree with you. Yes.
Yeah. So I listen. I think this has certainly heated it up, and I'm fascinated to watch the game on Wednesday night and see how raucous Boston Garden will be. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of trepidation because of Tatum's injury, but listen, this is still a pretty freaking good team. They're still the champions. They're still one of the deepest talent teams in the league. So if you're a Knicks fan, I wouldn't be sitting too easy right now because, quite frankly, I really thought going into last night's game, after watching Game 3, I just figured the Celtics would win the series. I figured it was going to be 4-2, done. Last night, the Knicks showed some stones last night. I mean, they've shown stones the entire series, right. But last night particularly, the way Boston was shooting early in that game from three, I mean, I figured how are they going to? The Knicks. I mean, the water was up to here, right up to the bottom lip for most of that game until they took it over in the third quarter. So I thought they showed, stones of granite, in that game, and that's why they won the game.
Do you feel like this series right now? I mean, I feel like this is probably the biggest series that's been played in Madison Square Garden. In my mind, Mark, I would go all the way back to the early 90s when it was Ewing going against those Jordan Bulls teams. And I would move aside the that one trip they had to the finals against San Antonio in 99 or whenever that was. Like, this feels, yeah, exactly. I mean, this feels bigger. This feels like New York City and the Knicks are kind of back on the map again. So for the people in my audience, Mark, that haven't seen a lot of Knicks ball, they know about Jalen Brunson, but what is it about the rest of the team? Like, Brunson is the name everybody knows. He's a stud. We watch him play, but where's all the other offense? And like, what's the personality of this team, the supporting cast, if you will?
Well, so this is interesting, Paulie and Tony. The Knicks made some moves. Obviously, they brought Towns in this year. They brought Bridges. They gave up, I think, 5 first-round draft picks to get Bridges, which is just absurd when you think about it. And you've heard a lot of people bellyaching about it. And they got rid of Randall, and some toughness. They got rid of last year's team was a very scrappy team, a team you wanted to embrace. This team has grown on the Knicks fan, I think, as we've gone on, because I think there was a feeling like that Karl Anthony Towns is not. Doesn't have that same toughness trait. He has a reputation of not showing up in some of the big games, and that's happened in this postseason, quite frankly. And they can't win without him playing well. They just can't. And Bridges, I've heard so much bellyaching in the last couple of months about the picks the Knicks gave up to get Bridges. I would ask the question: what have those picks done for the Nets since they got them? I mean, I'm taking this team right now. I think people have really, really embraced this team. Yeah, Bridges doesn't score a lot, although he has in the last couple games. But he has hit in games that he has been shooting ridiculously badly. And dating back to the Detroit last series, he has hit these massive clutch shots in the fourth quarter that have either kept him alive, got him going, whatever. And his defense has been ridiculous. Obviously, he made steals to end the game in both games of 1 and 2 in Boston. So I think that this city's coming around to this team a lot, and this has been a slow build. But I think people are forgetting about those 5 first-round draft picks right now, right? And Cat's played pretty well for the most part. So this whole thing has been building because, as you know, we went through this whole period, the Phil Jackson ridiculousness, and he was just stealing Dolan's money. I mean, it was so overt, it was ridiculous. And so we've gone through all those periods, right? And so now this regime that Dolan has brought in, he's actually kind of left them alone and let them do their thing.
See?
And they've slowly built to this. And they brought Bridges and Cat in to be able to get through a series like this. And it's happening before our eyes right now.
Mark, hey, I was looking at Karl Anthony Towns and Julius Randle on their new teams. They both seem to be thriving in their new environments, and I feel like that's fascinating to me because they didn't, all of a sudden they didn't put on weight, they didn't grow anything, nothing happened physically, but it just blows my mind how you can take a player and put them in a different scenario, surround them with different players, both rosters, with a lot of talent. And then these guys thrive. And do you feel that way about Karl Anthony Towns? Because it's fun to watch him.
I do. Listen, I don't know how he was treated. I don't know how he was treated over there, but I will tell you this. Randall was always a disappointment here. He could never do enough. Paulie, I'm sure you probably watched him. He flipped the crowd the bird. He pissed. You can't do that to fans. Certainly not in New York anyway. And they're never going to forget that.
Right.
And I think what happened with Randall was, Randall's a really, really good player, a very productive player for the Knicks, but they never really won with him. And so it was never good enough, whatever Randall did. Right. Now he's in a place, where he is, he's thriving. And so this is one of those rare, cool deals that's worked great for both teams. A lot of times it doesn't go that way. It's a one-way deal. But, can you imagine if these two teams meet?
Yeah.
Down the line here. I mean, how great would that be?
Oh, it would be amazing. And by the way, Mark Cannizzaro, our guest from the New York Post, you're not the first person to mention the possibility of the Knicks in the NBA Finals this year. Big Perk said it this morning on First Take as well. He was like, I can really see a path now for the Knicks to the NBA Finals. And that would be great, man. Listen, that would be just great for the NBA. Obviously, New York it would turn into Mardi Gras, man. It would be unbelievable. Yeah. But I just also think it would be good for the NBA. Having New York on the map again, I think kind of lifts all boats,
Yeah, listen, they'd have to close down more than 7th Avenue, boys, for that program.
Yeah.
To get to the finals. That's going to be.
Hey, Mark,
that would be off the charts. I mean, I agree. Listen, I think that we've been waiting for the Knicks. We've been waiting. Listen, we've been waiting with the Rangers now for a long time. I mean, 1994 is a long time ago, right?
I know.
Like there is a special relationship with the Knicks and the Knicks fans in this town. They just they hit a chord for some reason. As Paulie said, it's a good diverse fan set and. Listen, I'm loving it. I'm just the fact that this series was even a series to me is great. I mean, I was astonished at the first 2 games, and obviously when we all saw the Celtics finally hit their stride, hitting the 3-pointers in Game 3, reality hit a little bit. But the Knicks didn't succumb to that. I mean, they stayed with it last night. They made just enough shots, and then finally in the third quarter they asserted themselves, and and now we're staring at a potential closeout in Boston on Wednesday.
Dude, Mark, is there anything you can't talk about, man? Because I was had some golf questions ready for you, and here we are talking Knicks ball for the last 15 minutes.
We got to give him some golf. No, we got to hit him with some golf. That's why the man is in Quail Hollow.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah.
So Mark is live in Quail Hollow, for those of you who didn't know, for the PGA Championship. Mark, I wanted to know, so with Rory really playing incredible golf, and he's won 4 times at Quail Hollow, but that Scotty Scheffler, who is super fun to watch and also red hot, Scheffler's never played the course. Is it possible? Because you would think, okay, advantage Rory because he's played the course, I think 13 times? Is it 13 times? And he's won there 4 times, I just read. But Scheffler's never played the course. Is it possible that could be an advantage to Scheffler, that he's never played the course, and it's kind of just like he's going in new? Fresh?
No, I think it's the opposite, Tony. I think. I mean, you got a lot of people calling this the Rory McIlroy Country Club here because he just owns the place. I think that the familiarity is a big deal. I really do, and I do think it's fascinating to see how these two guys do. We're going to talk to Rory in about 2 hours here, and I'm just fascinated to see what this does for him. I actually was out on the range earlier today. We had some really torrential rain for the second day in a row, like some wicked thunderstorms here. And they suspended play. They just got it back going again a little while ago. But while I was at the range, I bumped into Rory's dad, Jerry, who I've known for a long time, doing a bunch of stuff with Rory, and we were chatting a little bit. And I said to him, I'm really fascinated to see. He's got no questions to answer to nobody now, right? I'm saying nobody could say, why haven't you done this? Why haven't you done that? And that's what we all been doing for the last 11 years. And that he hadn't won a major since 2014. And with that kind of talent and with all these other wins, he just hadn't broken through. And Jerry just kind of looked at me with this Irish twinkle in his eye, and he goes, it just kind of was a way for him saying, he ain't sitting back this week. I think this liberates him to a point where, he could go on a Tiger Woods-like tear, which is harder to do now because it's a much deeper game than it was, when Tiger was dominating everybody. Tiger kind of just blew everybody away and made them catch up, which they have, and which they did, and they have. And the game is deeper now than it's ever been. But even that said, I can see Rory really going on a tear right now because he just when Rory freewheels, there's nobody better. And why wouldn't he freewheel from here on in? He's got nothing to lose now. I mean, he's playing with house money for the rest of his life.
That very well said, Mark. And when he was, sat there hunched over on the green on 18 at the Masters, I feel like it was like the massive, monkey off of his back. And I feel like, I don't know. I know everybody I spoke to was pulling for him in that playoff and on that Sunday. But you've obviously had more exposure to Rory. He just seems like a good guy. Is that evident in your exposure with Rory?
Yeah, he is a really good guy. By the way, the hunching down on all fours with tears coming out of the eyes reminds me a little bit of Paulie Mack and I at a Springsteen show listening to Jungle Land. Okay, so let's that's right there. All right, let's just throw that out there right now.
Good call. By the way, I'm not ashamed. I'm not ashamed to admit it. I've cried many times at Bruce shows. You know what? Let me tell you what brought me to my knees once, Mark. And Tony was with me at this gig. This is back in. This is going to be in 2007. They did a gig in San Jose at the Shark Tank where the Sharks play.
Yeah.
And I don't know what it was. It was like the stars aligned. I had never seen him pull this out of the hat before. And all of a sudden he played Incident on 57th Street. And it was a monster version. I was totally caught off guard. Next thing you know, dude, I'm like, Tony, pass me a hanky because it all started coming out, bro. So no, I've been in that master's position before. The crouch with the tears. I know it well. Yes.
Oh, I'm not ashamed to say I'm with you on that. I remember, in fact, I was playing golf the other day with a buddy of mine, listening to East Street Radio on the speaker in the golf cart, and on came Wrecking Ball, and I just remember being at Giant Stadium the first night he played that. That was the tour. Yeah, and all the stuff I'd seen at Giant Stadium over the years and covered and been as a fan and all that kind of stuff, and that touched me. I pretty much always cry during Jungle Land. I'm going to lay that right out there right now.
Yeah.
And you know what? And I would cry if I could ever get Pearl Jam tickets someplace too, by the way, but I can never get tickets to Pearl Jam. So.
Yeah,
you know what's so funny, Mark? We have one of our audience members who basically goes on tour with Pearl Jam, and he sends us pictures and reports from every gig. I mean, he's got the bankroll to do it. He's a great guy, and he's out there right now. He just sent us footage from Nashville, and Tony and I are with you, bro. We're jonesing for a Pearl Jam gig. We're due. Yeah.
One of my Springsteen boys here, I just bumped into at a Red Bull soccer game on Saturday night. He's going to Pittsburgh to see. And I said, "How did you get tickets?" He goes, I had a guy, whatever. I need a guy. You know.
Hey, Mark, another one of our members of our audience, she said that real men cry at Springsteen shows. Number one.
I love it. We'll be in touch with her. Look, send her my way.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, I got to be honest, yes, what you guys are talking about, but what brought me to my knees last time I saw Springsteen with Paulie was when they did Night Shift by the Commodores, and I was in heaven because I didn't see it coming. Yeah. I didn't see it coming, and then they had a groove going, and Bruce is kind of just letting the band play, and he's enjoying the groove just as much as anybody else. I'm like, what a vibe that band and that man creates, man.
I'll tell you what, Tony. Now I'm in the vortex here, but which I could talk music all day, but. When I was at Barclays Center in Brooklyn to see Bruce and E Street Band, it was the night after Prince died, and they played Purple Rain.
Oh,
you've heard that version, I'm sure, because it's out there. That was mind numbing. It was so. It was like, oh my god, it was incredible. I mean, Neil's on the guitar. Oh my god. It was
Yeah, no, that was special. In fact, I think that's on Spotify. If anybody in the audience wants to check that out, you can find it. Yeah, it's out there. It's been released. Hey, Mark, so we're going to wrap up, let you get back to work down there, and thanks for the time today, brother. What is your, just out of curiosity, final question, what is your next concert? What's the next gig you have tickets for?
I actually don't have anything right now. My wife and I actually just saw a band called Japanese Breakfast the other day in Brooklyn.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you heard. Really, the woman I believe she's Korean. She's a published author. She's incredibly accomplished, and her voice is mesmerizing. And her band, I actually, my wife and I saw them down in we went down in Asheville during COVID when we couldn't get on a plane, and we just drove.
Nice.
Asheville, North Carolina is an amazing music scene and incredible craft beer area. And we went to a joint that's kind of like the Stone Pony, their version of the Stone Pony called the Orange Peel.
Nice.
And I don't care. Anybody could have been playing that night, and we were going to go see live music because it was COVID, and we just wanted to get the frick out, right?
Yeah.
And they happened to be playing that night, and we'd never heard of them, and she was amazing. And then, as luck would have it, the following week she was in Asbury at the Asbury Lanes. Saw her at the Asbury Lanes. Now, this production that we saw the other night, they're in the middle of a 4-night run right now, and at the Paramount in Brooklyn, which is a really good old school theater. The show we saw on Friday night was unfreaking believable. With the band, it's just a totally different, larger production. The band was amazing. But I will say this, coming off of that, and I just had this conversation with a friend of mine earlier today. He asked me the same question. I said, you know what I'm missing this week? freaking Fontaine's DC is playing in Manhattan freaking 3 nights this week at the Manhattan Center, and I'm away all week for work.
Yeah, well, no, dude, they're on my list too. I really want to see them. You know what's funny, dude, is Brian Murphy turned me on to them. I would never have known about them if it wasn't for Murph. He was in Dublin, and I think he heard them. They were being played like in some pub he was hanging out in, and he came back. Yeah, no, they have like the spirit of the Clash, kind of like a high energy. I like it, man. Yeah,
they get after it. They are really awesome. Any of our listeners right now, go on and check them out. They are spectacular, and they're live. They're crazy. My wife and I saw them at this Paramount Theater about 8 months ago, maybe the last time they were in town, last year, I suppose it was. And they raged.
Hey, man, listen, Mark, we freaking love having you on the show, man. It's always great talking music, talking golf, talking Knicks, talking whatever is going on in the sporting world. Mark's always ready to roll with us. So on behalf of myself and the audience, Mark, thanks so much, brother. And everybody read Mark Cannizzaro, New York Post. You can check his stuff out online on a daily basis. He's covering Quail Hollow right now. So enjoy yourself down there, brother. I hope it clears up, and we'll catch up again soon. Thanks, man.
Yeah,
fun,
thank
guys.
you, Mark.
I love doing it anytime.
Cheers, brother. Mark Cannizzaro, everybody. We love that dude, man. And he is so fluent in, and by the way, you know what? Another reason you got to call Mark when you go to New York, Tony, even if you're not with me, I don't care. Call Mark Cannizzaro and be like, hey, it's Creative Tony. I'm in your town. Come get me. And he will. He'll come get you. And then what you're going to do is you will then be on the road to the greatest pizza spots you've ever imagined, the greatest pubs you've ever. I mean, he knows every nook and cranny. He's got your, like, Creative Tony's knowledge of San Francisco. And I like to think I can hold my own in the city. Like, I know the city extremely well, but Creative Tony goes up another notch. Like, if I'm like an A student in San Francisco, Tony's like honors. You know what I mean? He's like on the honor roll. And that's how Mark Cannizzaro is with New York City, dude. He just knows about stuff like I've never heard of. Why?
Because I worked delivery I worked for a company the summers in high school where we basically evicted apartments. And so we had to drive all over downtown San Francisco, me and my buddy, and we were given an address. We had to go to this address and we had to take furniture out and load it into the back of this truck and put it in a warehouse. And it was people that weren't paying their rent. And it was quite an interesting gig, man. But we were driving all over downtown San Francisco and out in the avenues and everything. So that's where I learned, like, ooh, what if we go this way? And this is obviously this is when I was using the freaking Thomas guide. We had a Thomas guide in the freaking, under the seat. And, what a concept. Open up the Thomas guide and follow on that,
What a concept. Yeah, man. Hey, well, the other problem now is like all those great routes you used to know all over San Francisco, like shortcuts, take Turk to DeViz, take a left, then go left on 16th to be there in 10 minutes, all that kind of stuff. Dude, they've closed so many streets in the city now. Like a lot of those routes are defunct. Like, bro, I used to get over the Golden Gate Bridge coming into the city. My first move, bam, left-hand turn on Lake Street. Now I'm on my way. I'm just, dude, I'm bombing my way down Lake Street, dude. I love Lake Street. And now it's one of those quiet streets. I got kids on tricycles and like there's like people riding unicycles and stuff. And I'm like, damn, I just want to get down to Arguello, man. Let me get down Lake Street. I miss Lake Street, Tony. You feel me? Rest in peace, Lake Street. Rest in peace.
Yes. I'm one of those guys that probably still turns down that street.
I've been known to do it too. At least I go down to 10th and then I take a right. I do it just to defy it. Like it's like my punk rock.
Yes. Yeah. And I drive it slowly. I don't drive. I don't drive
real slow.
I'm my head on a swivel, right? But
I'm the same way. I do it just as a punk. It's like, you know what, dude? I got to stick it to the man. I'm going to drive 3 blocks on Lake, and then I'll take a right. So what I do is I'll take it off of Park Presidio, Tony, to 10th, and then I go 10th to California, and I get the hell out of there. But I will drive those 3 blocks. I take those 3 on Lake. Yeah.
Yes. And hey, by the way, I want to do some numbers here in the episode, Paulie, because this is episode number 87. So I think that's a special number in both of our hearts.
Yes. Yeah.
Number 87 for Polymax Particles in the PMP Army. So just, shout out to the DC number 87, Dwight Clark. I know he's near and dear to you, Paulie. And
Yeah.
And it's really fun birthdays today too, man. If you give me a second, I got some
Well,
really
why don't we do that? Let's do some now. Quick question for you, Tony, because we're going to have to wrap in a minute. So should I go? Do you want to do Los D and Dr. Matt Young first, or do you want to do birthdays first?
We'll do birthdays because I got them up fresh right here, right now, and then we'll pair. Then we'll give love to Los.
And, Tony, since they're fresh, you got them fresh. Shout out poppin' fresh. Let's get your fresh birthdays. Absolutely, straight out of the oven. Yeah,
straight out of Cool. Give me "Cool in the Gang" fresh, which is one of probably my favorite Cool in the Gang song. Maybe Joanna might be Joanna or Fresh might be Cool in the Gang for me. Remember Joanna? I do love you. Anyways,
man.
So I spent the entire morning listening to 2 different Stevie Wonder records because today Stevie Wonder turns 75, dude.
God bless him.
When my kids woke up, they woke up to Songs in the Key of Life playing on the turntable. And I had a little session with the kids telling them all about Stevie. And by the way, don't sleep on the album Talking Book either. There's songs in the key of life and Talking Book.
I would say don't sleep on just about anything Stevie Wonder's done. By the way, Tony, ever seen him live?
Stevie Wonder? Yes, I have. Yes.
Me too. I got him once. Yeah.
Jazz Fest. Thank God for Jazz Fest. That's where you can see artists like that.
Hey, Tony, real quick, I got to throw it out there. No disrespect. Stevie Wonder, he's an American treasure. He really is. The guy's an American treasure. He's like Aretha Franklin. He's one of the great musical, American forces of all time. But here's my question, because you got to get into this, because people always bring this up. All right, are you part of that little cult corner?
Oh, no. No, I'm not.
Just in case people don't know, but because I see Ray Goodman's over there and Noemi, and I know they're big music lover. Yeah, Ray saw him at Shoreline. His kid was on drums. Nice. All right, Ray, check this out, dude. Have you guys heard this crazy freaking conspiracy theory? I'm laughing because I just think it's funny. It's so stupid. It's funny. Like, do you guys know about this conspiracy theory that Stevie Wonder is not really blind? He actually has vision. That is a thing that goes around. And here's the big thing. People say, yeah, well, if you go to YouTube, it's just so stupid. They're like, if you go to YouTube and say Stevie Wonder not blind, like in a search, there's some clip that comes up apparently of him on stage where, I don't know, some other musician bumps into his mic stand and it starts falling over. And apparently in this video, Stevie Wonder reaches out and grabs the mic stand that's falling. Now, again, I'm only laughing because it's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my life. Stevie Wonder's definitely blind. There's no question. But there are people out there that will tell you that it's all a big ruse, like it's some kind of cover up of what? I don't know why anybody would want to fake the fact that they don't have vision. But anyway, I'm throwing it out there. You mentioned Stevie Wonder. Happy birthday. And let the man enjoy his life without all the conspiracies. T, I see you working furiously. What are you up to over there, T?
Do you know how much effort that would take to pretend that you're blind?
And why would you? Why would anybody want to pretend they're blind? Actually, here's something really interesting I heard about Stevie Wonder's his lack of vision. Like, I've heard that he only stays in, it's either the Four Seasons or the Ritz-Carlton, and I forget which, but apparently the floor plan at I think it's the Four Seasons, like, is the same in every hotel around the world. So if you go to the Four Seasons in Tokyo, it's the same floor plan as the Four Seasons in Maui, as the same floor plan as New York City, and on and on. So they say, rumor has it that when he checks into hotels, he can actually walk to the elevator by himself because he knows how many steps it is and when to take the left and all that stuff. It's pretty wild. It's actually pretty wild. So that one I believe, but the catching of the mic stands, I'm not going to believe that one. Yeah. Dude, by the way, Jeff Winkler checking in. Ray Charles also not blind. Not blind. Yeah, exactly.
That's what made me start laughing while you were talking there, Paulie. I saw Winks' comment pop up. Ray Charles also not blind.
You know what I mean? You know,
a couple other birthdays. I just want to get these out there.
Time out. I can't believe we're doing this, but sorry, Tony, my bad. I got to just shout out The Who on the great Tommy double album, the double album Tommy. There's a track on there called Eyesight to the Blind. So any other songs about blind? Oh, actually, I got another one right now. U2, final track on Actung Baby, Love is Blindness. Beautiful track.
There's the Blind Boys of Alabama, which you have to give love to, and they have a great holiday album called, I forget what it's called, but they do really, really good holiday album. Oh, what's it called? Anyways, look up Blind Boys of Alabama holiday album.
I have that holiday. Hey, by the way, I got to do this. I'm going to do this in a one-time only performance. I hope you guys enjoy this. I'm going to quote the great comedian out of Brooklyn, Andrew Dice Clay. Tony, ready for it?
Go.
Talk about stupid, dude. It's just so stupid. He goes, when he's doing his little nursery rhymes and stuff, he goes, 3 blind mice. Where the fuck are they going? It's all about the pause. 3 blind mice. Where the F are they going? Anyway, Tony, all right, that's all I have on blindness today. Let's move on. Yes.
Well, and Blind Boys of Alabama, it's called Go Tell It on the Mountain I just looked it up. It's the holiday album. It's really
John Joseph, Snowblind. Great one, dude. One of my favorite Sabbath tracks. Thank you. Thank you very much. Sorry,
I'm going to start air horning you.
I am absolutely jacked out of my mind, bro.
I hit the wrong button. God damn
I'll air horn myself.
Yeah, I'm going to start air horning you.
Okay.
Dennis Rodman, 64.
Happy birthday, Worm. I like Rodman. I always like Rodman, dude.
Yes.
Guy can rebound his ass off. Yep.
And also doesn't believe in following the norms of society.
No, God no. No. He might be wearing a wedding dress right now, for all we know. And I salute him. I back him.
He might be naked walking down Broadway right now. I don't know.
Yeah. Right? Wouldn't it be great to hang with Dennis Rodman for a night? He's a big Pearl Jam fan. He's been on stage with Pearl Jam. Yeah,
totally. I loved the way Rodman played the game of basketball. I mean, he sent a message to everybody: if you come in the lane, I will F you up, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, he was changing people's shots all the time. I loved how he played the game. Anyways.
Probably the best defender I've ever seen. I mean, I put Draymond Green up there too, but Dennis Rodman could wreak havoc by himself. And he's probably the only guy that will ever be in the Basketball Hall of Fame just for his rebounding. I mean, he's not there for his scoring or his assists. He is there because he is the greatest rebounder that the game's ever seen.
And that's why Draymond should be in the Hall of Fame down the road.
He'll be in the Hall.
Yes.
Yeah, he will.
That's why Rudy Gobert probably should be in the Hall of Fame.
Oh, cut the crap with him already. Rudy Gobert. I'm sick of that guy.
Yeah. I'm sick of him too, man. He's kind of
all of them. I'm sick of the whole gang. Oh, by the way, Father Finch, sick of him too, dude. Still complaining. Oh, the Warriors are so physical. Dude, shut your mouth. Shut your drunken mouth. Tony, go ahead.
Hey, Paulie, they took justice into their own hands, by the way.
Ooh, okay. Oh, okay, guys. Thank you.
Get it back to Chase, man. Get it back to freaking Chase for Game 6. We could do that. It's a whole different series, man.
And then, Chase fans, would you guys mind giving our players a home court advantage if we do come back to Chase? Could I encourage you guys to make some noise as I continue to complain about the atmosphere in Game 4?
Yeah. How about this? How about maybe you don't leave your seat, in halftime, knowing that it's going to be a bleep show out there. In the whatever the walkway.
Concourse, Tony. You're talking concourse is the word you're looking for. Yeah,
concourse. Yeah, what do they call the areas? By the way, it's not
the portals. I'll meet you at Portal 3. I'll see you at Portal 3. That's if you've never been to Chase Center, it can be very confusing because there are your traditional section numbers. Like, hey, I'm sitting in section 24, but then you got to figure out which portal, that's it. Like I'm going to Portal 7, section 24. It's like we're doing 2001: A Space Odyssey, just walking through there. Yeah.
When I saw Fish there for what was it, 2 nights or 3 nights, I forget. But when I saw Fish there, being enjoying extracurriculars, trying to find my way through Portal Land.
No good. Yeah,
it was not fun. It really wasn't fun. Yeah. But also, happy birthday to Barry Zito, 47.
Hey! Yeah, dude. Yeah. Namaste, bro. Namaste. Dude, remember the Barry Zito yoga spot we did for Bridge to Bridge? Yeah, dude. One of my favorite lines we ever wrote together, Barry Zito doing the Bridge to Bridge read. He's like, yeah, man, just come on out and run. And I said, he's like giving the information. I don't know, dude, ferry building, 10 o'clock. And then he's like, dude, this is my favorite. We got him going. I don't know, dude. Dudes, chicks, whatever, dude. Dudes, chicks. I don't know, dudes, chicks, whatever, dude. Shout out Barry Zito. I like Barry Zito. He's a good dude, man. He's down there in Nashville doing his thing. God bless him.
Yes. God bless him too, man. And the fact that he's
Cy Young. God won a freaking Cy Young, for God's sakes. What are you going to do?
Yeah. And he was massive with the Giants in 2012. So Zito for life. Dude, Buckethead, 56 today.
Is that all? He's only 56. Oh, good. We got like 20 more years of Buckethead just tearing stages up all over the West Coast. I don't even think Buckethead goes back east. I think he only gigs around here now, dude. And, I'll never forget my children being terrified of Buckethead when they were a little kid. I showed my kids a picture of Buckethead, and they got very afraid. They asked me, actually, because we were up in Petaluma at my mom's house, and that, what's it called? The Mystic? Is that the theater up there? The Mystic in Petaluma? And it said on the marquee, tonight, 8 o'clock, Buckethead. And they're like, they thought that was funny. And I'm like, well, it's not really that funny. You guys might not be that, you won't be laughing if you see a picture of them. And I showed a picture of them. They were little kids. And then later on that night, one of my kids is like, Dad, is Buckethead going to come and get us in the middle of the night? I'm like, no. He's going to be gigging. Don't even worry about it. Yeah, there he is. Buckethead. That's Tony Scott, dude.
See why people would think that, because he is, if you're into just wacky guitar virtuoso play, right? And he also hands out toys to the audience, and that's not a joke. That's not a riff. He literally has a huge bag, and he hands out unwrapped, or they're still in the cases, toys. Like maybe you'll get a LeBron doll. Maybe he'll hand out LeBron dolls, the LeBron Barbies this year. So I don't know.
Hey, Escobar III also throwing another birthday on the pile. I don't know if you have this on your master list of birthdays, Tony, but shout out to Harvey Keitel. I love Harvey Keitel. Did you seriously?
Yeah. Keitel is 86 today. I had Harvey Keitel as next, and I was going to do.
God damn! Wow. Okay.
86, and why not, Paulie? Just because we can, we can. Let me do this, and then I'm going to. Because we can. I would. It's all fun. It's all fun.
I don't know what you're doing. I'm waiting patiently. Yeah, I'm here.
Well, I've been waiting patiently too. Here we go.
Lead the way. Boys, get to work.
Please would be nice.
Come again?
I said a please would be nice.
Get it straight, Buster. I'm not here to say please. I'm here to tell you what to do.
That's right.
Self-preservation is an instinct you possess. You better fucking do it and do it quick. I'm here to help. If my help's not appreciated, lots of luck, gentlemen.
No.
I watch Harvey Keitel all damn day. Yeah, if I'm curt with you, it's because time is an issue. Time is a factor. So pretty please with sugar on top. Clean the effing car. Yeah.
One more time. Here we go.
Barking orders at me, that's all.
If I'm curt with you, it's because time is a factor. I think fast, I talk fast, and I need you guys to act fast if you want to get out of this. So pretty please, with sugar on top, clean the fucking car.
That's all. No, that's all. That's it. I totally understand where he's coming from. I don't have time for this nonsense, but so pretty please clean the effing car. Thank you guys. Great birthday list today, Tony. We should do that more often. We're still going.
One more.
You know what I think? Let me tell you what I'm going to do. Hey, birthday boy, check this out. I think you've overdone your allotment of birthdays. It better be a good one.
Paulie, this list could have taken a minute if I was just able to give the list, but I've been,
I'm afraid not. I'm afraid that's not possible without riffs. Go ahead, man.
So, if I say to you, happy 57th birthday to Parrish J. Smith, do you know who that is? If I'd say,
Parrish.
I
do. What's his outfit?
Rap.
I know.
Rap.
No, I know. And is he part of freaking EPMD? EPMD. Yeah. We were just talking about them. Yes.
Yeah. He's the PMD of EPMD. So just happy birthday to Parrish J. Smith. We're done with birthdays. I thought it was fun to go because, hey, this is all a therapy session today after the Dubs game last night. So I thought it'd be fun to give a good birthday list to get our minds off of the Dubs crud from last night. And just to tick everybody off again, I want to show this one last time. This is a flagrant foul. Not a flagrant foul.
Helped up a second ago.
You want that left ankle, man? That left ankle kind of buckles. I got worried. It looks like it could have really hurt his ankle there, the way he's getting pulled to the ground. Tony, the way he's getting dragged to the ground by his jersey, that's a common foul. Nothing to see here. It's like, Jesus Christ, man. Want to throw it a freaking bone?
There you go. Yank the jersey. Let's it's not a flagrant foul. Again, if that was Draymond Green as McDaniels, he's probably ejected from the game.
I agree with you. I agree, Tony. That's a very reasonable take. I mean, Draymond Green is a marked man out there. I guess the T-Wolves get to do whatever the hell they want. It was very upsetting. It was just one of the. I don't want to see this again. We're watching this again. This is going to start bumming me.
Mount Flopmore. We're just adding Julius Randle to Mount Flopmore, and he says, "Don't do that to me. Don't do that to me. Don't do what, Julius?"
He didn't do anything. Nobody did. He's a big tough guy now. No, nobody did anything to him. Like
this is jackassery. That's jackassery. Is what it is. It's just.
I mean, listen. All the kidding aside, Tony, for an NBA, a pivotal Game 4 in the second round of the NBA playoffs, the officiating was horse-ass. It really was. I mean, this is a call right here that never should have been made. It's a flop. We can all see it. The call on Buddy Hield getting dragged to the ground, a common foul. I mean, I don't know what to say. I don't. It was a horribly officiated game. It really was.
Really
that being said, let's get into a wonderfully officiated financial guy, and that's Carlos De La Fuente from Flex Funding. Yeah, that's Los D on the streets, dude. And believe me, you know what's great about Los D? He'll talk loans, he'll talk mortgages, he'll talk about your own financial realities. But you want to know what? He'll also talk Warrior basketball. He'll talk Niner football, Giants baseball. He's into it, man. He's a lifelong San Francisco guy. He's a native of the city. He's had his business going for over 25 years, and he can definitely help put you in a better financial reality. Hell, in life, things happen. Dude, I just graduated one of my kids from college. I got one more kid still coming up, dude, and I'm still writing checks. I know how it is. It's like sometimes you're like, wow, how am I going to do this? Where am I going to get the funds to do X, Y, and Z? Sometimes you got to call a professional, get some advice, get some help, get some coaching. That's what Carlos can do for you. Pick up the phone and give him a shout. He's a very easy guy to talk to. If you haven't spoken with him yet, 925-250-4894. If you'd prefer to email him, I know he checks it all day, carlos@myflexnow.com. One thing about Carlos we've been celebrating from the day we signed on with him is the fact that you can trust him. He's a stand-up guy and he cares about you. Like that's a precious commodity, man. A lot of these guys don't care at all about your standing, your situation, your family, your needs. They're just like, you know what, dude, why don't you give me a check, sign on a dotted line and get out of my office. Carlos is not one of those guys. In fact, Tony, he's the opposite. If Carlos assesses your situation, say you're like, I don't know, I want to talk about a HELOC loan. I want to talk about a home equity line of credit. And here's why I want to do it. And here's when I need to do it. If he looks at your records and does the numbers and adds up the math and doesn't think it's going to work or it's not a good time, he will tell you that. That to me is so valuable, Tony, to have a guy that actually cares about your well-being, where if it's not the right timing, he's not going to let you make a deal. He'll say, come back and we can revisit this down the road.
Yeah, dude, Paulie, also, life is not moonlit walks on the beach 24/7. Life is not rainbow.
I like a nice moonlit walk on Baker Beach. I do. Not going to lie.
Life is not butterflies and rainbows all the time. There are things in life that you need to do to handle your business. And why not make those things an enjoyable experience? And if you have the option to make those things that aren't necessarily rainbows and butterflies that you're like just, itching to do, like talk about money and mortgages and finances, find somebody that will make it an enjoyable experience for both. Find somebody that is trustworthy and that is interested in getting to know you as a person, not just wants to do a business deal. And that is Los in a nutshell. Although I could see Los doing a moonlit stroll on a beach, with with his those linen pants, maybe rolled up.
Nice call, dude. Kind of like Bob Weir. Let me roll up my pants, y'all. I want to show off my chin. By the way, did you see Bob Weir standing next to George Kittle a couple of nights ago, dude? Incredible. Bobby can care less. He's such a gangster at his age. He's like, I'm gonna wear my pants cut right below the knee, y'all. And what?
We didn't share this. Maybe we can share it tomorrow night. Is the video? And I know Chip Lang, who's in the PMP Army, he was at the show. The video where Bob Weir goes on stage with Sammy Hagar and just has a freaking outrageously cool jam with Sammy Hagar.
That was cool.
I said to you, maybe we'll play it tomorrow night or bits of it tomorrow night. It is the coolest thing, and Hagar is just soaking it up. And by the way, Hagar is what, 75, 74? And Bobby Weir is 78 or 77 or something like that. These guys are keeping it young spiritually, and that's what it's all about, dude. I just freaking love it, man. And by the way, I have to do this for Noemi, because Noemi and Los both said, dude, you suck for cutting off the horns, so stand by Paulie.
Hey, listen, I got to tell you,
Go ahead. I'll lower it while you talk.
Well, here's the problem. Like, No, I tried to tell you that you pulled the rug out from under me and you totally disregarded me. Like I didn't even exist. Like I was like a piece of lint on the bottom of your shoe. Suddenly, the listeners start coming in with a similar complaint. You're like, well, then let me rush and fix that right up. But when Paulie Mack, like my name's on the show, I'm like, dude, can I get the horns? You're like, nah, I can't help you, Holmes. Cannot help you. And now these guys come in and you're like, let me get to that right away. Anyway, I'm just breaking your balls, Tony, but I did need those horns. Thank you. Noemi feels it. I feel it too. Give us a loan. What kind of loan would you like? Yeah,
Give
totally.
us the los. Give us the los.
All right, one more time.
Give us
Hold
the
on.
los. What loan would you like?
Hold on.
Here we go. I'm ready to play. Oh, no horns the second time around. You only get them up front. See, that's good songwriting. All right. Anyway, Carlos De La Fuente, give him a shout. Talk about your financial questions, your financial restrictions, and let him get you in a better financial reality today. Tony, one of our newest sponsor, a great friend of mine, Dr. Matt Young, dentist here in San Francisco for over 25 years, specializes in implant surgery and implant restorations. But more importantly, he just does great work across the board. I've had everything done over there from like just regular checkups and cleanings. I've had a couple of root canals. I've had freaking cavities. It's like, what do you expect? You know what I mean? Like, what do you expect from me? Dude, I went years without going to the dentist. Why? Not because I was negligent. It's because I was afraid. I was just flat out afraid. I was too uptight. I think I'm not alone here, too. I think there are people, we've all seen Marathon Man. You know what I mean? It's like, wow, that light's in my face. The drill goes on. Suddenly I'm like a nervous wreck. Dr. Matt Young is so valuable to me because, first of all, he's just a great guy. He's a family man, lives here in San Francisco. He's a native, and he's got young kids. He's like a little league dad, soon to be a high school dad, and he just puts you at ease. And that has tremendous value to me as a patient. Give him a shout and talk to Dr. Young. If you're like me and you neglected going to the dentist for some years now, don't put it off anymore, because the problem with that is what happens when you go in. They're going to find stuff. They're going to be like, yeah, we got to clean this up. We got to take care of this. And here's something over here I don't like. So don't put it off. Talk to Dr. Young. Or if you just want to make a switch, maybe you've changed, the health plans and you got to get somebody in a new group. I cannot recommend Dr. Matt Young enough. Look him up at Young Dental SF Group. You can also email him info@youngdentalsf.com, or just call him, Tony, 415-392-8611. He's right down there in Union Square on Post Street. Super, super cool guy, Monster Giant fan. Talk baseball with him. And for a change, enjoy like a pretty relaxing experience at the dentist, Tony.
Dude, there's a common thread between Los and Dr. Young. And it's what I said about Los. I'll say the same thing about Dr. Young, is that why, if you have the opportunity to make something that you're not necessarily like jonesing to do, make it enjoyable, make it an enjoyable experience, because going to the dentist is not rainbows and butterflies, but Dr. Young can make it pretty damn close, man. And Saturday. So Saturdays, he's open Saturdays, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Saturday night's all right. Yeah.
Or you can do one more Saturday night.
That's my preference. That's my preference. I prefer to go one more Saturday night with Bobby Weir in the cool lots,
Maybe former NFL lineman Jeff Saturday goes to Dr. Young on Saturdays. But anyways, Dr. Young and the Young Dental Group is open Saturdays, which is huge for a lot of you busy parents out there, including myself. Saturdays, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. So check them out. Again, info@youngdentalsf.com if you want to email or if you want to call. 415-392-8611. 415-392-8611. Paulie, by the way, if I wanted just to give a little PSA to people, if you're leaving your phone number for somebody on a voicemail, at least do it twice. Always, at least do it twice. That's all I'm going to say. Bye.
Fine. Fair enough. Thank you. And thank you, Dr. Matt Young. We freaking love having you on board, man. You're a great partner and a great friend. Creative Tony, final word about tomorrow night. And no matter how we try, I am convinced we are unable to deliver a 60-minute show. Like, it's just not going to happen. We can try. I think we've come close.
When Marky Mark's talking Knicks for 20 minutes, I thought he was going to talk Knicks for 2. And he's talking Knicks for 20 minutes. I'm like, I'm loving this, dude.
That was kind of my fault. I kept lobbing him Knicks questions. Hey, tell me more about the Knicks. But anyway, no, I'm kind of like, I know. But I got to be honest, I'm kind of enamored with these Knicks, and I'm happy to see, like, it's so festive at the Garden, the street parties. I put some bookmarks in. We can look at those tomorrow. So, guys, last thing, real quick. Tomorrow night, again, just a reminder, a little bit unusual. We'll send out a tweet tomorrow to remind everybody, but we're not going to go live at 8 o'clock because Warrior game starts at 6:30. So let that thing play out. I'm hoping, guys, my fingers are freaking crossed. We're back on the air. We're celebrating a Game 5 win on the road. And then talking about what Tony's been mentioning, the Game 6 return of Steph Curry. Hopefully all these things happen. And then we can also, we can also start talking about the get-together, the party we have planned Sunday. But the Warriors have to win tomorrow night in order for there to be a watch party at Longbridge. And we got some very special things set up. We're going to have like the entire Bay Area Sports Collective, ready to come out and hang out and broadcast. But again, Warriors have to help us out by getting that win. So if they get the win tomorrow, we'll give you all the information later in the week. But Tony, that's all I got for you today. I want to thank Mark Cannizzaro for coming by. Creator Tony, great job. Thank you, Don Peralta, Low Steve, Patty from Napa, Aaron Cask, Pine Needle, on and on and on it goes. HVAC, yes, T, your final thoughts.
Joey Cicchini, I saw you checking in on Instagram Live. I saw Shannon Kaler checking in on Instagram Live. I saw Longbridge Pizza. I saw a lot of people checking in on Instagram Live. Thank you, by the way. So we blast this show on YouTube at Polymac Chronicles, on Twitter as well, /X, whatever you want to call it. Also on Instagram Live. Shannon says, quote, "Oh shit, I guess we're robing today." So yes, Shannon, it's a Roby Tuesday.
That's right.
Joey Cicchini is asking about trying to become a PMP VIP. You cannot do it from your cell phone. It's got to be from your laptop or a desktop. So that is, I just want to give him a heads up because he said he was struggling to try and become a member of the PMP VIP. And just remember that if you aren't a member of aren't a PMP VIP yet, feel free to join us. It's right next to the subscribe bell. And what we're going to do is start creating extra content. Heck, there might even be a Shannon Kaler and Stone Fox's sighting on the extra content down the road. Yeah,
I would hope so. And Candlestick Kid, hey, Beat LA, you don't have to call it X. You can call whatever you want, Beat LA. You and me, we'll be rogue. We'll call it Twitter. We'll do whatever we want to do. Hey, Tony, dismiss the class with Professor David Lee Roth, if you could.
Before I dismiss the class, I want to say this tonight for tomorrow night for Jimmy Butler.
Damn, Jimmy. Damn, Jimmy.
Okay, that's right. Damn, Jimmy. Come on. Give us Jimmy Butler that we want and we love that we need. Okay.
The only thing I'm going to say is, Jimmy, I need more than 9 shot attempts, Holmes. I need 3 times that. I'm not kidding. Launch 25 shots if you have to, but I got to have more than 14 points from Butler. I'm sorry, Tony, but go ahead.
Go off, Jimmy. And Pajemski, it's okay, man. Keep shooting. It's going to happen. It's going to turn. The worm will turn. Just talk to Kuminga. Sit down and have a chat with Kuminga on the flight out to Minnesota today and talk about how he has turned it around, man. Dude, the guy's playing with reckless abandon now. Sorry, go ahead.
Hold on, Tony. And also, I want to say also Buddy Hield. If you could, join the party, Buddy Hield. I'd love for you to get involved as well. All right, Tony, give me the David Lee Roth dismissal and we'll let everybody go to lunch.
Stand by, Joseph Cicchini, $4.99 super. Dude, Joey Cicchini, what's it? Joey Cicchini. Could you help us, people who are technically challenged, and find the subscribe button to pay the $5 to join? So maybe Joseph Cicchini, why don't you email us, pollyspod@gmail.com. pollyspod@gmail.com. Email us, and I will help you specifically, Joey. We will make it happen, brother. Thank you to all of you who have joined the PMP VIP, and spread the word about PMP VIP. We'd love to have the more the merrier, for sure.
And Joey, I'm pretty sure this is Joey C, my guy Joey C with the ribs and everything. I'm pretty sure that's you, Joey. Anyway, send in the email. Tony will give you a response. We'll get you set up, man. Don't even worry about it. Give me the David Lee Roth dismissal, T. Let's let our friends go eat lunch. Thank you, my man. Thank you, my man. And again, tomorrow night, after the Warrior game ends, Creative Tony and I flip the switch. It's the first time we've ever done a post-game show. Should be a lot of fun because we're all going to be passionate. You know what I mean? Like the blood pressure is going to be raging. Win or lose, it's going to be a very excitable show tomorrow night. So again, thank you, Mark Cannizzaro. Thank you, Creative Tony. And thank all of y'all. PMP Familia, as Noemi says on a daily basis, it's real. It really is real. And I'm hoping if the Warriors get this win tomorrow night, we can get everybody back together again this weekend on Bridge. But more on that tomorrow. The Warriors have to help us in order for us to do that. So again, have a great lunch. Have a great afternoon. Go Giants. I don't know. I wouldn't mind seeing a Giant win at some point, having lost 4 straight. Might as well sprinkle in a Giant win just for a goof. Until tomorrow night, y'all have a great day. Have a great tomorrow. We'll see you for the night flight tomorrow night. Peace, y'all.
Peace.